Hello, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. This is going to be a Bricolage Daily, I think, video. At least this is how it's going to start out, at least in my mind. I'm calling it Project Journal, and I want to build a journal for Cassie Boss, who is the curl boss. Now, I don't have curly hair. My sister does. Actually, both my sisters do. My niece does, and Cassie has a channel on Instagram. I don't know if she's got any YouTube stuff. She might, but I found her on Instagram, and she's so informative. Even if you don't have curly hair, you can learn a lot of stuff from her. She's just delightful. She's got a really cool personality. She is very passionate about her genre. She's very knowledgeable, and I just love watching her. So I wanted to do something for her that I thought she might enjoy. So I asked her if she'd like to have a journal, and she said that she would. So I want to build her one. So I've been thinking, and I started a cover, and I wasn't too happy with it. I just, I couldn't decide. And then earlier today, I thought, I really want the cover to be soft. So as she fills the pages and it gets chubbier and chubbier, um, that might work for her, and she can just tie it as it gets fatter. And then I was looking at some fabric that I could maybe use, and I remembered this wool that Kathy Cow sent me. Now, Kathy Cow, you might want to check out her channel on YouTube. She does a lot of fabric stuff. I'm going to try this wheel. I'm not too good at cutting straight. I'm trying this fabric wheel. I don't think it's too sharp. And I don't want the journal to be too huge, so I decided on like a 5x7 size. So this is one of the pages that I'm going to be using. That didn't do anything. It did not. Oh, there it cut. Holy moly. So I just pinned this page to the fabric, and I want my fabric to be a little, taller than the actual pages. And then I thought, well, this will be a really, really too flimsy of a cover. But then I thought, well, what if I sewed a piece of fabric on the inside of this? And then the wheels got churning. And this can be not super straight. I might end up putting some lace or something on it. I just don't know where I'm going to land. But I've landed soft-sided anyway. It's a soft-sided landing. So I'm just kind of using that page as a little template. So if you'll humor me here, see if I can get some of this. See, I don't think I have the strength in my hand to push down the way I need to. And I think my blade is probably, oh, look, there it cut a little bit. My blade is probably dull. And I'm not really a fabric, not a material gal. So I just thought I would turn on my camera. This to give me some content to put on my channel. So I was thinking about some of the journals that I've made that I kept for myself that I really like. And I took a little bit of this wool and made a, like a needle book. And I had it out the other day when my grands were here. My grandson saw it. He thought it was cool. And I thought, oh yeah, that is cool. So I'm going to put this wool to good use. So thank you again, Kathy. It is delightful. Now I want it to be a little longer here, I think. So I have some wiggle room. Let's see. I'm an eyeballer. So I'm just eyeballing what I want. I think somewhere I have a smaller one of these that was a Martha Stewart tool. It's probably on my little wheelie basket behind me, but I don't think to look there. So if you're a seamstress and you're watching this, I apologize. You're probably giving you heart palpitations. All right, so we're going to save all this. It's nice and thick and yummy. It's like a heather brown, heather gray type of color. It's really fabulous. Fabulous. Now, I've said before, my husband, he knows how to work the sewing machine, and he was taking in some of his drawers. He's lost some weight, but it has not stitched right since he was monkeying around with it. So I need to take a piece of fabric and do a test stitch before I see. I just don't like that wiggles. See how that wiggles? It's hard to cut it because it just is wiggly. It's very windy here today. Now that got a little loopy. So this is what I'm thinking it's going to be like that. So let's put this out of the way. Now I've got a couple of choices here in my mind. Let's get this pin cushion here. Got my tatting needles sticking in there. So let's put these pins in here. Now, I probably didn't leave my sides long enough because I'm going to put a lot of pages in here. At least I think I do. But on the inside, I want to put another fabric. So here are some of my thoughts. I could put this inside. Now, this is just not just jazz it up a little bit, but also, look, I've got my camera all wonky. Oh my gosh, I'm not paying attention. It'll jazz it up a little bit, and it just will give it a little more stability, but not a lot. So this is one idea. Now that I pulled it out, I'm not sure that I like that idea. So that's one idea. I liked it because it's got the birds on it. I'm thinking I would put this on the front cover, but look how big it is. Maybe I can find a smaller pocket. I like the idea of the pocket. And then I was thinking I could do just a denim inside. I think Cassie would like denim. So that's an idea. And then I have this lovely, oh, I've got a couple. Look, this is like a muted, this almost looks like an aubergine color. This was the color that my girls wore in my wedding. Oh, that would look pretty on it, wouldn't it? Look, let's see. Let's take away this distraction. Oh, look how pretty that is. See, I'm not going to, I might end up doing a blanket stitch around the whole thing, but I'm not going to fold this in and make it all neat. I'm not doing that. I want it raggy. I want it right. Oh, that looks pretty. And then I've got this. It's a different shade of plum. So far, I'm liking this the best. Unfortunately, by the time you see this, I'll have already decided. See, that has to be ironed. That's all bent. I have to go get my iron. Yeah, I'm liking that. All right, so that's the way we're going to go with that. Put those aside. Now I have to trim. What I do is I tear. I like to tear. So let's see. I have this at this is 11. See, I've got it's really kind of crooked there. About 5.5, which is what I want. But see, I need this trimmed. This is not. So let's pin this. It's hard to see. I bought these huge sewing scissors because Rosemary Morris uses these gigantic, hers I don't know that are sewing scissors, but she uses these gigantic scissors and she loves them. All right, so that's 5.5, which makes it 11. So let's see what we have here. I don't think the way the pattern goes really matters to me. So right about there. But I need this smaller, don't I? So let's do it right on the fold. I want it pretty close to the edge because I want to stitch it on, and I don't want my stitch lines too far in. That's going off. Might like this piece better because it might not have that. I'm not crazy about that bend happening. I have to iron that out. Gotta go get it. I have my little portable iron here. I wonder if I can get that working. Let's Let's try. Let's try this. See, now I do have a lot of paper. Oh, I forgot to try this one. This was a piece. This is a piece of Batiste. Oh, that looks good too, doesn't it? I think I like this better. I don't really know Cassie. I'm just from what she presents online and how her personality seems. I feel like this might be the better choice. Now I'm just moving some stuff out of the way that I have over here to my left because I already have quite a few pages put aside. And some of them, of course, are too big. I might have to go one signature, maybe two. I put a little. Okay, so now I need a little piece of fabric that I want to test my sewing machine on. Oh, and I need to iron this. Let's work on that first. See, this is just bricolage is just me working at my desk. And I know I had the little plug thing here for this, but where did I? Oh, I think I see it. This is where I popped it. Okay, let's undo my little twisty tie. And then I'll take a piece of fabric and test my machine. I think I'd like a little zigzag. Straight corners maybe, and then a zigzag. I'm just going to use black thread, I think. All right, now I got to find a place to plug this in. It's slippy. It's starting to heat up already. All right, let's see it this way. I think my mom got this little iron when she was going on a cruise or something. Let's see, that's medium. Low, let's go more towards high. I have my big old crusted over iron. You know, sometimes if you spritz it with water, that's a good idea. And you kind of steam it. So let's do that. That's what my nanny used to do. Steam and roll, steam and roll. Now I should also probably think about tying this little gem once I start getting it together. And, you know, I might want to think about putting some kind of a ribbon underneath here. or sorry ribbon? Or do I want that on the outside? See, there's just a lot to think about when you're going to build a journal. Oh, goodness. Need to get rid of some of these strings. All right, I think that's good enough for what I need. Now I'm going to turn this off and unplug it. Let's see. Off. Unplug. Put it back down in my middle cart. Don't do any damage down there. All right, let's get a smaller pair of scissors and let's get rid of some of this thread. Now my sewing machine is already set up and plugged in. At least I think it's plugged in. Now I want a pin here. Pin this. Pin my corners. Now my machine's not been stitching well underneath, so I may have to fuss around with the tension. I got that jagged. Not good. Okay. I could trim that way, right? And use this as a, well, I wouldn't have to stitch there. I just have to stitch here. Might have to think about that. I have some other design things that I'm thinking about putting on this cover. Where's my... I'm just going to pull out my journal that's similar to this. Fabric is different, of course, but I don't want the flap like this. See, this one I'm just using a piece of chiffon ribbon, and I have a flap. So I don't want that, but I want this kind of stuff pinned on it. See, this needs to be stitched here because, see, this keeps kind of deteriorating. But I like that. And all I did was put in, I think this is just one big signature. And that would work for Cassie. Of course, that's all the same size pages. Wasn't going to do that. And then some kind of a tassel I think would be cool. So let me look at, well, I've got to test my machine either way, but let me look at some fabric that I might want to include on this side. Here I've got a butterfly. That might look cute stitched on the edge. Lace. Oh, I kind of like that. That's a little too big. I'm liking that. This may be a marathon video, so you might have to scrub ahead. Oh, I love this stuff. Just seeing all what I have in here. I have another container. Oh, this is pretty. A little piece of that inside might be nice, huh? Let me get that pinned in. Okay, now let's trim here. Now this I do want to tuck in. Now if you don't have a sewing machine, you could have certainly pulled all this down with a fabric glue, or you could hand stitch. That's an idea for you. Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, I'm not interested in that stuff. Piece of this here might look cool. Thinking about that. This is an old embroidered hanky. Might be a little too big. Too big. Too big. Too big. I think I might have to get out. Oh, look at this. I love that. I love that. I love that ecru color. Might have to get out my other tub of stuff. Oh, here's one of these. Oh, I love this too. I think this is something I have on mine. put all this jazz back in there. Need something on top of that, maybe a button. You have a button on top of mine. That needs to be ironed, of course. So I'm trying to think ahead to everything that I might want to stitch down. So once I'm doing all my stitching at one time. I don't usually do that, and then I'm sorry. Usually sorry. All right, let me go get my other tub of, see, I like these. Are these called ribbon roses? But see, it's real soft. It's not like ribbon I would call ribbon. But I had a big one of these, and I put it on the front of a journal. It just looked wonderful. And I would like to get more of those. But I don't know where I got it. That is definitely something that I might use. This I'm hoarding. I think I only have one. All right, I think I know right where the tub I'm thinking about. Let's see, I think it's right over there. Yeah. Well, there may be maybe two tubs. Maybe noisy. That did not go well. I think one of my journals just slid down the back of behind a table. I've moved things. So what I'm looking for may not be in here, maybe in a different drawer. I might just toss out some stuff here. One piece of that. Definitely one piece of that. That's pretty. Sometimes you get too much stuff out. That might be pretty in the background. So to me, the idea of junk journaling is anything goes. It's not necessarily junk, although some of them are. You know, some gals make the pages out of stuff they get in the mail, junk mail. And Lahr, Lahr, check out her channel. She does. Oh, I love her journals. Oh, who's trying to message me? Probably an ad from. Oh dear. I have a friend that's very ill. I just moved her back from rehab back to the hospital. So if any of you are prayers, if you would just do an unspoken for me, I'd appreciate that for my friend. See, all this kind of stuff might look cute on here, right? The thing is, I don't cut fabric very straight. Maybe that's why they pin it to tissue paper. This might look better up top and wrapped in. Oh, goodness. What do I have? Oh, yeah, paper here. I don't really want my scissors to be cutting through paper, but I want this to cut straight. I don't know if this will work. That was better. Really wrap that around that way. I like that better. Trying to leave that little tiny border around. I went into a Goodwill several years ago, and this was a jacket, and I just loved the fabric. The jacket would never have fit me, but it had all these little squares of flowers, and they've got little beads. Some of them have little beads in the flower. So of course I thought, well, that might be a really cute addition to a project. Which I think it is. This stuff is to die for. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's clearance. There was a whole bunch of it. And you could make this yourself. But I definitely want to use a piece of that, but I probably will stitch that on separately. Now, look how cute that is. All right, so let me just take a piece of, I really like this. Let me just take a piece of this fabric and see if my machine's gonna work. All right. My pad here. Oh, I should have used those scissors. I have old fabric scissors that would be much better to cut paper instead of my new ones, but I forgot about those. All right, let's see here. So I want this to be a little larger. Oh, it's not even threaded. That could be a problem. I just find if I don't have the sewing machine up and set up, in most cases, I would not drag it out to use it. And I have the room to leave it set up all the time. I use my Four Season room for my art, so everything can just sit out. Years ago, I wasn't able to do that, and oh my goodness, it was such a chore to pack up my stuff every time I wanted to do something. I had to pack and unpack it. So I did a lot more knitting then. Wow, that's just really small. Now that seemed to stitch okay. Now let's see if I can figure out how to do a zigzag. See if this is zigzag. Not really. That's a different kind of a zigzag. That might do. Well, it looks like it's stitching okay. I didn't care for that, although that doesn't look too bad there, does it? All right, so what I'm going to do is, oh gosh, I have stuff stacked everywhere. Now I've got this all pinned, but what I'm thinking is I want to stitch this on first. Look how crooked that is. You're probably screaming at me saying, no, you don't do it that way. Don't do it that way. I'm thinking about unpinning all this so that I can stitch it onto my wool. And then put this on top. That might be better. You know, just kind of peel this back. Stitch that on here. See, that's going to fray. Now, I'm sure there will be things I'm going to end up saying, why didn't you do that? You know, but at least I'm thinking a little bit ahead. And I'm just going to use, it's black or dark green thread. It's a dark thread, though, which I'm good with. I'm good with that. All right, let me just pin this so it doesn't flip over. Done that before. So I'm just fussing because I don't know what I want. I think I want this here, like that. Okay, let's do it. I don't want to lose that little guy. He's cute. He's cute. Ouch, I'm sticking myself with the pin. Oh, I lost my bottom thread. That's the other problem I routinely have. Doesn't look too bad though. There. Gotta get my bobbin out. Maybe it's empty. I just dropped it. Oh my goodness, guys. I need a pair of tweezers or something. Uh, it's empty. Of course. It's empty. Of course. Well, this video is really going to be long. Because now I got to thread wind my bobbin. Got it. Oh gosh, now I'm going to run out of thread. Can you tell I don't do this often? Alright, let's release that. Tighten that. Put the bobbin back in. I need to get another camera. If I could figure out how to edit, I could edit out some of this stuff. But I'm struggling with that. Okay, so now I'm threading my machine. I have an old Kenmore. It's like a workhorse. And it's got little cans or something that you can drop in it, but I never use those because I have no idea. Now, of course, when I threaded this earlier, it went right through. Goodness, can you guys hear that wind? Alright, I think I need to try this on a piece of scrap because it seems to be really stiff there. it's going to be okay. Let's see if we can continue. Got a really long piece of thread there. All right, here we go. Lost my, oh my goodness. Well, maybe this isn't going to happen today. Because now look what's happening. It was stitching fine. Look. Of course, you're not going to see that because I'm going to stitch this over it. But I don't know why it's not stitching correctly. Some of the girls that are really up on sewing machines say that's a tension issue, but it just was doing fine. So I'm not sure. I would like to get the rest of that stitched. Look, I lost it here. Got one stitch there. There's my piece of, I don't want to ruin that. I want that for on my cover, I think. Get this other little swatch here. Okay, I just noticed the one thread was not where it should be. See if that makes a difference. What a difference a stitch makes. Nope. Well, I think I'm going to stop this video and figure out what's going on with my machine, because I don't want to go on with my project if I'm not able to use my machine. Does that make sense? I can pick it up later. So let me say goodbye for now. I'm not sure if I'll upload this one or not. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. Bye-bye.